Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, we will be making part 3 of our Tesco build. This part includes our petrol station / petrol station store. Not only do we make the outside, but we also, just a sneaky little peek, make the inside as well. And we also make a car wash / little self-serve area next to the car wash as well. So we have a lot to do in this build. And I do want to remind you guys that this is part 3 of a 3-part series in which we have made all of this. You actually don't need to have made part 2 to make this part of the tutorial. However, you do have to have made part 1. If you haven't, check that out in the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section. Make sure that part 1 is complete, and then you will be able to follow along and make this part, the final part. We're going to start off by grabbing smooth stone, white concrete, smooth quartz block, blue concrete, red concrete, smooth quartz slab, light grey, glass pane, end rods, and yellow concrete. So the way that we are going to begin is we are going to make what I think is called the canopy for the actual pumps at the petrol station, or gas station if you prefer. So these are spaced out. If we take the ends of this wall, if you leave a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3 in the ground, and we dig out an area that is 3 rows wide and is as long as the wall that we have just counted from, then this should suffice in kind of just in planning out our canopy area. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually make the canopy. It's relatively easy. If you take the third block in from both sides, on both sides as well, so the front and the back and on the left and the right, you want to place a white concrete and then 3 smooth quartz blocks on top. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like this. We're going to do the same thing on this opposite side here. So white concrete, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like this. Then blue concrete on top of this, and we're just going to join this all together. So we're just going to make a rectangle on top of what we've just made, right? Then we're going to extend to the right and left by 2 rows. So over here by 2 rows, and over here by 2 rows as well. Then we're going to extend forwards by 3 rows. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll extend back also by 1, 2, and 3. And then we have got to place a layer of blue concrete on top of this, and as a matter of fact, are we going to be doing 2 layers of blue concrete, or do we just do the 1 layer? We might just leave it at 1, ladies and gentlemen. It might look a little bit better, it might look a little bit blocky with 2. I think that we'll just leave it with the 1 layer, and we can always change it a little bit later if we do decide. But on the front left hand side of the canopy anyway, we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, and then we're going to destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place white concrete here. This is going to mark out where we are going to be placing the Tesco. So we'll be writing out Tesco again and placing it there. I don't know whether I'm just going to steal the sign or whether I'll make it again, but we'll see when the time comes. We have some more banners to make as well. So, speaking of more banners to make, what we also have to do, and this is a little bit trickier positioning, but you can see where we have the smooth stone on the side here. Well, if you follow the smooth stone to this outer wall, move to the right one, place 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 blue concrete on this wall using that positioning, add an extra row of blue concrete on top, 2 rows of red concrete, 1 row of white concrete, and then 1 row of smooth quartz slabs. Then, behind all of this, we are going to build basically the same thing. On the ground, we're going to build just blue concrete coming up to where we have the last row of blue concrete, and then a couple of rows of red behind, and then a row of white behind, and then smooth quartz slabs. And then later on, we'll be writing like 24/7 using banners, and it will just make it look a little bit better. And you can see, by the way, in already making this, it already makes the area look just a little bit better. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to mark out the actual, like, convenience store part, I'll call it itself, the actual petrol station store. So what we'll do from the back right hand corner here of the smooth stone, I know we use a lot of smooth stone as a reference point, we want to leave a gap of 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This 5th and 6th block we're going to destroy and replace using smooth stone. And then behind this we're going to place a white concrete. On top of it, 2 smooth quartz blocks, 1, 2. White concrete, smooth quartz block, and that will make the building as high as the canopy, which, by the way, is why I decided not to make it a little bit higher, because I don't know why, it just seemed as though that they should be roughly the same height. But regardless, we're going to take the bottom of the white concrete here, we're going to extend it backwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it should actually be 7, so I think that we're going to destroy part of this wall. I don't think that this wall is necessarily even supposed to be here, to be honest. I kind of just placed it. And we're going to... it can probably be there, but what we can then do is we can extend that 7th block across... and we want to extend across by 12. So I'll knock out the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It actually lines up perfectly with the smooth stone just underneath the canopy. So let's get all this destroyed and then let's place some white concrete in its stead. So here. And then we can extend that row forwards to equal the length of the row opposite. And then we want to leave a gap of 1 in the ground. Actually, it's a gap of... What you can even do is place a light grey glass pane, leave a gap of 1, and then we can just place an entire row of white concrete going right. We have to mark out some windows on the front, so starting from this right side actually, going left, 2 glass, gap, 2 glass, gap, 2 glass, and then we're going to place a couple of smooth quartz block in between the glass, just like this. We can then extend the white concrete across the top here. And where we have the store area, we can extend the light grey glass pane upwards. Place an end rod in front of the middle here. Light grey glass pane filling in the empty spaces that we have here. And then there's actually no more windows for the gas station, so we can basically just add a couple of rows of smooth quartz on top of the white concrete, just like this, going all the way around. And then we want to add white concrete on top of this, again just going all the way around on top of the smooth quartz, just like this. Then smooth quartz block on each one of the 4 corners, like so. Smooth quartz slabs joining the top together just on each one of the 4 sides, just like so. Here. And then here. And then all we've got to do to kind of like finish off the basic structure of the building is just add some red concrete to the top. So this is just going to sit inside of the smooth quartz slabs, just like this. And the end result of it, let's take a nice little look. The end result of it should be that. So that is pretty cool. In front of the building, we are going to have 2 rows of smooth stone. Just like this. And on the side of the building, only the left side as well, by the way, we want to also have a couple of rows of smooth stone just built into the ground, like so. Let's extend it across, just like this. Perfect. So now we are going to come to the side of the build, and we are going to make the basic structure of the car wash. You can see that we're kind of just building all of the basic structures of all of this, and then we can add all of the details later. So the basic structure of the car wash is relatively simple. We want to I think that we're going to have to just take this wall out completely. This wall is, as I mentioned, it shouldn't really be, like, it should be on the outside of this. So I probably shouldn't have built it in the first place. We'll make another wall a little bit later on, and we'll extend it out a little bit. But anyway, from the corner of the petrol station itself here, we are going to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And actually, on this 6th block, we want to place 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth quartz block, and then extend that 4th smooth quartz block across by 5 using blue concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stick a quartz block on the end and join it down to the ground, just like this. Then we want to place a layer of 8 yellow concrete extending from the blue concrete here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like this. And we are going to extend these rows across, just like so. Then we can stick a blue concrete row on the end of that. Then we can basically just place smooth quartz blocks on the ends of the row of blue concrete, extend those down to the ground, like so, and then smooth quartz slabs across the top of the yellow concrete on both sides. There we go. Then we are going to add some glass, and we're going to use some blue concrete again as well. So we'll grab blue concrete, we'll grab a little bit of glass, and I think that this is about as complicated as we're going with this. So the blue concrete is for the connections on the sides of the build, and we're just going to build up layers of glass on top of the blue concrete coming up to the top here. And then on this opposite side, we're going to do the same thing, so we can watch the cars go through the car wash, hypothetically. The cars don't really move, but you guys get the idea. And now that we have done that, we are going to just kind of like leave it at that for now, because that's all that we wanted to do for now. We just kind of wanted to place those 3 basic things, and if we take a look from the sky, actually, I mean, you can see that that is very much improved. All we got to do is just make a couple of like those kind of like tune-up stations that you have, like where you can check your tire pressure and fill it up and blah blah blah. We'll do those a little bit later. So what we're going to be doing, we're kind of going to go back to where we first started, and we are going to grab the green concrete we'll need, white concrete, smooth quartz slabs, we'll need tripwire hooks, paintings, cauldrons, and that's going to be it for now. So we need to make the petrol pumps. These are going to be made using 2 rows of 2 green concrete just set inside the 2 little legs of the canopy. White concrete on top, just like this. And then we're actually going to do this. So we're going to place a painting here on the front left hand corner, and we want to place a painting here. So this is just this corner here and this corner here, just on the outer parts. We're going to place tripwire hooks. Then we're going to stick a cauldron in between, and then on the opposite side we're going to do the same thing. So it's going to just be on the same side, so it will be the painting here towards the outer part, tripwire hooks next to it, keeping it very, very simple, smooth quartz slabs on top, and then a cauldron on the end here as well, just on the outer part of the legs, and here as well on the outer part of the legs. And that's about as difficult as those petrol pumps get. And as I did mention, I think I'm just going to steal the signs. And if you like, you'll have to just remake the sign. But I'm going to steal the sign a little bit later on, and I'm going to hang it off of there, and then that's kind of like this part complete. So the next thing that I'm actually going to be doing is I'm going to work on the front here. So there's always a lot of what I would call like peripherals, I guess. I'm not even sure if that's the right word, but the idea being that there's just loads of stuff usually like outside of the front of these places to kind of like, you know, coach you into either going inside or buying something that you don't necessarily want or need. But we're going to use glass block, iron trapdoor, white banner, item frame, paper, And then we'll need spruce wood planks, spruce trapdoor, flower pot, and just some flowers. So starting from the right here, I figure that I'm going to make a paper box, which is a couple of glasses, iron trapdoors on top, white banner in front of one glass, item frame with paper in front of the other. And the idea here is quite simple. It's just like a place where you would get newspapers, like they would be kept in this kind of like little bin here. Open it up, take it inside, pay for it, there you go. Left of this, a couple of spruce wood planks, spruce trapdoors in front, a couple of flower pots on top, and then we're just going to stick some flowers in here. Next, we'll also need a furnace, flashing table, red chalk box, smithing table, tripwire hook. We'll need a green concrete, and then we can even grab some paintings again, but we're kind of like getting to the point where we need to grab some different stuff. So left of this, like a furnace, it looks like it could just be like a little barbecue or something. Flashing table looks like it could be something as well. A couple of shulker boxes, that could be a gas canister with a tripwire hook above it. Left of this, like a smithing table could be something. And then I wanted a cartography table as well, but I'll tell you what, we're going to miss one, place a green concrete. And I'm just going to grab some more stuff. Oh, the paintings, right? So the paintings, I figure, could just be advertisements in the windows. So however you kind of want to do this, right? I mean, it's up to you, but you might want to So you might want to place just a couple of paintings just like in the windows, and it will just look like advertisements for stuff. So free for two if you buy pepperonis or pepper pig, you know, whatever. There's all sorts of different advertisements for stuff, and I'm going to just grab a bunch of new stuff, and then we'll probably move on to the inside of the station. Okay, I think that I have the next set of materials ready, so we're going to grab a cartography table, polished blackstone pressure plate, oak trapdoor, quartz bricks, red shulker box, tripwire hook, light grey concrete, light grey shulker box, and some item frames. So we are going to stick a cartography table next to the smithing table, polished blackstone pressure plate on top of the green concrete, and an oak trapdoor in front of that. This is kind of like my go-to standard bin design. You could even reuse this over there if you wanted to. The only reason that I didn't is because we've already got like green concrete for the pump, so you could use a different material if you wanted to, but I'm quite happy with just simply the cauldrons. The shulker boxes are for the left side here, so the red shulker boxes. I'm just going to make a couple of gas canisters, very common buy at petrol stations. To the right of this, something a little bit different that you might not have thought about. I'm going to leave a gap of one, a couple of light grey concretes on top of each other. Right of that, some shulker boxes on top of each other. Which way do I want these to go? Might want them stacked kind of like this. To the right of it, again, light grey concrete, and then on top of it, some shulker boxes, just like so. And the idea for these is that we want to place item frames here and here in front of the top of the light grey concretes. Light grey stained glass pane, stone button, light grey carpet. Then we are going to be using the quartz bricks, some blue concrete, red concrete, polished andesite stairs. We'll probably need flower pots and... oh, maybe not the flower pots, but we'll need the tripwire hook and definitely some red carpet. So, going to place buttons underneath the item frames, light grey stained glass pane in the item frames, light grey carpet on top of all of this, and those are kind of like those self-collect like Amazon boxes. I don't know whether you guys have ever had to use these, but like you get a code. If you like want to have your Amazon package or whatever package like delivered to these, you can have them delivered to quite often like a petrol station, maybe even a supermarket, something like that. You go in, put in your code, it gives you a little timer, and then you've got to quickly like get the box open and your parcel's in there. So kind of an interesting little build I thought to add to this. I'm going to rip up the entire inside floor of our petrol station as well, so all of this is going to be ripped up. I'm going to be using a light material. I was originally going to use some form of diorite for the floor, decided against it. I'm using quartz bricks instead. So just like this, just using some quartz bricks. We will be building up the inside of here too. It's quite easy, or rather simple, I should say, the inside of this. We've not made it too too fancy. We might even have to drop the ceiling, but I don't think we will actually, because no, I think that it's actually probably the perfect height the ceiling is. Although we could drop it an additional row if we wanted to, but... So in the back left-hand corner here of the petrol station store, we'll be placing an upside down andesite stair, red concrete to the right, and then a row of blue concrete all the way over to the right. We'll extend the red concretes upwards by 2, place a tripwire hook on the wall just here on the left, red carpet on top of the tripwire hook, and then the red concrete there. Then we will place a button in front of the middle red concrete. And then we are going to grab, what do we need? A flower pot, glow item frame, bookshelf, smooth quartz stair, weighted pressure plate, lantern. So a flower pot on top of the andesite stair, a glow item frame just in the top, and this is just going to be a coffee machine. And then to the right here, I'm just going to stack some bookshelves to make it look as though that there is stuff to be purchased. If you want, you could just have it kind of like floating, and then you could use, say, something like iron trap doors to make it a little bit more, like you could make it look a little bit more like a shelf, so it's a little bit more interesting. But in front of this, we'll leave a gap, and then we will have a row of blue concrete that is parallel and opposite to the row of blue that we already have. We'll make a till using a smooth quartz stair and then a pressure plate, and we'll stick a lantern here as well, just like this. Then we will, from in front of the block where the lantern is, we will leave a gap of 1 and then place 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelves. Stack a row on top. Against the wall here, this opposite wall, we'll place a couple of row of bookshelves as well. And then we are going to need, I mean, we could even use iron trap doors for this again. Like, we'll leave half a row above the bookshelves here. And then... Actually, we'll just leave it like that, actually, and we'll fill that in later. But directly to the left of the bookshelves, we'll have a row of white concrete leading from the floor to the ceiling, and then an additional row in front. Then we are going to grab smooth quartz stairs, iron trap doors, sea lanterns, and in the back here, we'll place a couple of sea lanterns at the back, white concrete in front. Upside down smooth quartz stairs on top of the sea lanterns, leave a row in front, leave an entire like row above, and then we're going to place iron trap doors, and then maybe even another row of iron trap doors up at the top here, because I think that we can just have the have this run from the floor to the ceiling. And then in front of this, we will, we also want to have like a couple of shelves as well, just here. So we'll have some shelves using, I mean, we could use iron trapdoors, or we could variate, I was going to say. Is that even a word, variate? We're going to have a variance using a couple of, maybe some just spruce slabs like this. We can even purpose the red carpet that we've got on us, like we can place this in front of these shelves here and here, just to kind of like make it a little bit more interesting, I think. And there's not too much more that we need for the inside of this. So, like, more so something that we can kind of just yank from outside is, like, we can grab the cartography tables and the furnace and all of that sort of stuff, and we can kind of just stack all of this, like, on these shelves here, because I just want it to look a little bit more interesting. So that will definitely do just nicely. Maybe even like a regular old crafting table over here would look quite good. And of course, like, there's always more and more stuff that you can stack everywhere. So feel free to just put items that you think would go together, just, you know, anywhere, as you want to like fill up the area a bit if you like. You can even add a window if you want to, just back here too. So if you wanted to add like a little window, then that would be perfectly fine. That's not a bad place to put one. Here, the idea was, I was going to have like a little tiny, like sometimes in these places you have like a, where am I even looking? Like, I'm looking for the melon and stuff. So I was thinking, like, sometimes like in these little gas stations, petrol stations, like you can find like there'll be produce and what have you, just like random fresh produce, and I just thought maybe we'd have a couple of these for a little bit of decoration, and we can place some like spruce trap doors like around it, just to make it look like an actual like little produce bin. And just to fill in the front of the fridge, we'll just grab the light blue glass block, and then end rods just in front of this, or just one end rod really, just for a door handle. It'll probably go like here. And there you go. So just like a fridge, we've got a couple of aisles, we've got a till, which probably a quartz stair as opposed to, I don't think that that'd blend in. I mean, if not, we can go with like diorite, or we could go with waxed oxidized cut copper stairs or something just for a till, but I don't actually like that. Diorite I'd probably like even better than that. So there we go, something like that, just so it didn't blend into the side there. And this is the inside of it. I'm quite happy with this. I think that this looks pretty cool. So we've got the inside of the convenience store part. We've got this part done as well. The only thing that we really have to do is just add like the sign. I think that we'll probably get these signs done, and then all we have left to do is like then this particular part, this like half, is done. So we're just going to grab a loom, and we're going to grab some white banners. So we need 4 white banners, and we need some black dye and maybe some white. I actually don't know off the top of my head, but anyway, we're going to throw loom down, crack it open, and we're going to put a white banner in there with some black dye. So we're looking for the number 2, so that is a horizontal row across the top, the bottom, and then a diagonal row top right corner, top right corner to bottom left corner. So that functions as a 2. Next would be a 4. So a 4 is a little bit trickier. So we need a vertical row on the left. Grab that, put that back in. Throw the black dye out, white dye in. Bottom half of the banner needs to be white. Grab that, put that back in. Throw the white dye out, put the black dye in. Horizontal row of black through the middle of the banner. And then a vertical row on the right. And that's a 4. And then we need to do like a split, which just like a diagonal, like 24 like /7, so that's the slash, top right corner to bottom left corner diagonal. And then 7 itself, we can actually keep that diagonal pattern and then throw a horizontal row on top, and then we've got the 7. So we're going to place this on the outside of where we have this like red concrete area here. So 24, 7, perfect. And I think that that looks really cool, like, well, really cool. I mean, I think it kind of contextualizes what this is, hopefully. And I just think it makes it look a little bit better. You could even place it on the opposite side here, but it's more so as an advertisement. I am going to steal the Tesco signs, or the banners, I should say. If you want to remake these, you know, feel free. I mean, if you have to remake them, then I'm sorry, but I'm in creative. I'm just going to steal those banners. So I'm going to place these across where we have the white concrete area here. So TS or TESCO. And there we go. I think it just puts like a nice little real finish. I might even add a car or two around here as we like get towards the end of this tutorial, like as this 3-part tutorial. Like this is really starting to feel as though that it's really coming to a nice finish now. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to work on this area here, which is the car wash area and kind of like what I'll call the tune-up area. So let me grab what might very well be the last inventory's worth of materials, and then we can get started again. Okay, I think that I have managed to grab the final materials that we are going to need to finish off this build. So, smooth quartz stairs, light grey concrete, polished andesite stairs, polished andesite activator rail, yellow wool, light blue wool, orange wool, and some end rods. Oh, and of course, much more. So, inside of our car wash, I am going to... You know what? We actually need to dig out pretty much the entire thing, but we are going to start on the left and right sides, and we are going to place inwards facing smooth quartz stairs on the left and right sides. Then I'm going to dig into this. I'll actually dig out all of this grey concrete here, but immediately I want to place a layer of light grey concrete on the left and the right, like this. Polished andesite stairs in the middle on both ends. And then I'm going to destroy in between these stairs and place polished andesite, just like this. I'm going to stick activator rails on top of the light grey concrete. You could easily use any rail, but I just like how those look. And then I want to place this. Okay, so this is on both ends. So on the left and the right side, we want to basically we want to leave a gap of 1, 2 in the glass, and then the third glass coming in from both sides. So 1, 2, and then glass. We want to place yellow wool, light blue on top, and then yellow on top of that. So we want to do this on both ends. So I do believe it works out like this, right? Yep. So yellow, blue, yellow. And then I want to place probably just in it below the yellow concrete still, an orange concrete below the middle yellow, light blue on both sides, end rods on the end there, just as is in the name, end rods. And there you go. That very, very simple, easy peasy car wash. Looks great, hopefully gets the point across. I really like that. Then, just on the side of the car wash, because I just want to make it look a little bit more interesting, we are going to grab, let me make sure that this is correct. So we need some brick slabs, some oak leaves, some azure bluettes, and we'll need some grass blocks. The ends of the car wash here, we basically need to add 3 brick slabs extending out on both ends. And then join both ends together like this. And then I want to destroy... I'll probably destroy both rows of grey and replace it with grass. But it's just a bit of decoration. And then I'll have leaves on the back part here with azure bluettes in front. And that basically gives us, like... It's just... Oh, you know what? I could even extend out this smooth stone here. It's actually not necessary, but it basically just lines it up with the front of the petrol station. It stops us having like a big giant gap here, so that's why we have this. So next to this, what we are going to have is we are going to grab, what do we need for this? So we will need white concrete for this, we'll need some smooth stone for this, we'll need some light grey concrete, some grey concrete, we'll need the polished andesite stairs, we'll need paintings, and then we'll need some more stuff as well. But we'll start off with this. So, the width of the quartz here to the brick, we want to destroy this. And then we want to destroy 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming across, like so. And then we want to leave a gap of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to destroy the same width. And then also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which should leave you a row of 4 on the end here, joining to the employee part of the car park, and then this little row of 5 that we had previously, just here on the side, this gets shortened. So, again, I really shouldn't have like built the wall and what have you. I'll just have to modify this. What I could even do is I could extend this wall across the back here so that it lines up, but ultimately what I shall have to do is I'll just have to, and it all doesn't have to be perfect. Like, what I'm trying to get at is, like, just because we have a wall, like, and I know that this is a detour, just because we have a wall here doesn't mean that this wall also has to line up with this wall. Like, it can jut out a bit, and it actually makes the build look a bit more interesting. That's why I was wondering earlier in a previous part, if you watched the previous part, whether I was doing the right thing, really, by including this little part of, like, adding a bit of a grass part here. Like, it might be that the build would look better if this path didn't even exist, for example. Like, if we cut off the supermarket here, for instance, and we knocked out all of this part, and if we just added perhaps like a little bit of a wall here, and either left this alone, or if the wall extended just from here, just all the way around the back, like this. I know that we've went off. I know that we've went off the reservation a little bit, but hear me out. So, like, would it be better if we had the wall kind of like extend inwards like this, and then we've got kind of like a big bit of a path that opens up? Then there's like a nice big part back here. You could probably do something with that. You could even have, like, again, the wall could snake inwards, and maybe it could stop like one row away from the entrance here, and then this wouldn't have to exist. And there's no reason that it has to be a big giant rectangle at all. It can be a little bit more shapely. I don't know, it's up to you. But anyway, they're the kinds of things that I think about, which I probably spend too much time. It probably doesn't matter that much. I'll let you make your own decisions, I guess. But anyway, we want to have these two rectangles just like this, right? And these rectangles want to be filled in using a mixture of white concrete and some smooth stone. I'm going to place all of one and then all of the other. So just like this. It just wants to be like a little checkerboard pattern. I just like how it kind of like looks like this. And I think I'll reverse it for this one. Like that is reversed, right? No, it's not. It doesn't matter though. It's fine. I was going to reverse it. I was going to make it different here, but then I realized I made it the same. So it doesn't matter. And basically, this is going to be a place like, sometimes you can pay to, like, you can use your own, like, access to a pan washer. You can pump up the tires. Sometimes you can put water in, like, the window screen wash and what have you. So that's what this is. And we just want to begin by placing a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 light grey concrete in front of the back middle blocks of smooth stone and white concrete, so just leaving one row alone on the end either side. We'll extend the left side out forwards, polish down and side stairs upside down in front of the bottom, grey concrete in front of that, and then I think that we'll just either fill this in using some light grey concrete. I want to have a little screen here, so I always use paintings for this sort of thing. And then I'm going to flip over onto here and I'm going to make the exact same thing. So 2 rows of 4, extend the left side out, extend the right side out, upside down and inside, grey concrete, terracotta here, painting here, and easy peasy. And all you need to do to finish these off is just a diorite wall, end rod, cauldron, tripwire hook, and some light grey carpet. Maybe even some grey carpet would work. But diorite wall, end rod on top. I'll do this on both at the same time. And then on the right side, a cauldron and a tripwire hook. Cauldron and a tripwire hook. And then if we just stick some light grey carpet on top, there we go. And what would make this a lot better is if we did add a car here. I'm thinking that we need to add a lot of cars to this place, to be honest, to make it look a lot better. So I think that is what I will do. But that's all you got to do, and that would be like the pan washing hose, and maybe this is the air hose, and then this is just like a bin of sorts or what have you. And ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the point where, like, there's little things to be done, right? Maybe, like, say, a little bit of hedging to be placed, like, here inside this wall. Some path that needs, like, tightening up. Maybe a couple of blocks of stone buttons, like, missing off of wheels and what have you. But I am not going to do all of that on recording. But we are at the point where this is pretty much 100% complete, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing else to add to the compound that I'm calling Tesco's. So let me tune everything up and then we can say our goodbyes. So this is what your petrol station / petrol station store / car wash / I guess still part of the car wash, but it's also kind of like a self-serve sort of thing, will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. And I told you guys, by the way, it does look a little bit better with some cars surrounding this place. This is what everything will look like once it's been 100% fully completed. I would highly recommend adding some bikes and some cars, just vehicles in general, in and around your car wash and petrol station area. It will just make things look a lot more lively, a lot better, a lot more interesting, and it will just add a little bit more realism to the build as well. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I have had a blast making it. It has been a long 3-part series making this entire compound, but I do feel as though it has 100% been worth it. This will make a huge difference to your worlds if you do choose to build this. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys hopefully in the next one. Goodbye.